If you never like, subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can get the latest content as we drop it. Today, I'm going to talk about starting a business that doesn't cost you any money. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Whenever you're doing an inflationary period where interest rates are high and we're going through a policy situation, it's important that you know that you do have the power to kind of do some beta testing, but at the same time make revenue. Now, most of us, if you start a business, you kind of worked around the edges and you did some things. But here's the most important part. Today's show is all about the things that you can do. Check out the body of it. I put 10 things you could do to actually start your business using no money. And the reason this is important because you can't afford to allocate funds in a way that you can't get a return. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm not even going to hesitate. I don't want to delay. Just don't forget to like and share the video. I want to do this for one reason only. Because most of the time people think I can start a business and I need to deploy resources. But the reality is, depends on what kind of business you're starting. Now, in the time where most people are finding themselves in a situation and they're saying, can I really allocate these funds? Let me tell you what you can actually do. Here are some of, I'm gonna give of the 10 things that I wrote down. You can find it in the body. Go check yourself. You can go find those 10 things. But here's the main thing. Here's the first 5. The other 5, you got to jump down there. I got some things I need to do, but I wanted to come out here on Monday because we like to talk about business and kind of help you guys out. Here's the first thing. First thing you can do. Other than defining your goals and your vision, that's always number 0 to me. I don't really call it 1, but defining your goals and your vision, make sure that it's clear and make sure you tell everybody. You want to be able to find people that you can actually build a team and let them know up front. I don't have no money at this time to pay you. And the reason for this is you want it to be a mission and a goal. Now, think about this. The reason I mention this is I was doing my research and I noticed that so many people in the local community, probably where you live as well, wherever you are in America right now, or if you're in the UK, because we got a large audience to watch in the UK and Canada, you'll find that people, when it comes time for local, state, and national elections, they will volunteer. They will feel committed. They will do polling data. They'll go and stand on corners. They'll go knock on doors. Now, 9 times out of 10, a lot of those individuals are not necessarily being paid. There are a lot of volunteers and millions of dollars is made at every time a campaign happens, whether it's local, national, the money and the statewide, they're making money. Now, how do they get these people to be involved? Because they have a very clear mission that people buy into. Now, if you're going to be an entrepreneur in 2023, you want to start a business where profits are high and the cost of running the business is low, which means that a lot of times you hear, even right now, they say, well, all the candidates haven't announced yet who's going to be running for president, whether they're on the Republican Party or even on the Democratic Party when Biden can be reelected. What you're going to find out, though, is that a lot of them, they haven't, because they're testing. They haven't put it out there yet. They're testing. They haven't declared to be in the race. What are they doing? Making money. Now, here's another thing. You got to be very good at recruiting, not just being clear with your vision and your goals. You got to do very good at recruiting individuals who have different talents than you. That's right. Here's one of the main things you can do wrong if you're going to be doing a business where you're starting a business without any type of money. Okay. You literally starting with 0. You're like, I have no money, but I'm going to start a business. Your first thing you're going to say is how I'm going to pay for my corporation license, how I'm going to pay for my small business license. If you go into your local city, you may even say how I'm going to open up a bank account. Well, just so you know, all you need is the EIN, and then you got to file that document. But here's your goal. I'm starting from 0. So that means this business is totally focused on generating profit. That is the business in 2023 you want to start. A business that is totally focused on generating profit from day 1. All right, here's another incentive. Sometimes we like to reach out to our networking group, but that's not necessarily a good thing. It's not a bad thing either, but let me just explain. If you have already tapped your networking group in the last 5 years from other business ventures you were doing, don't keep tapping that networking group, because these are individuals who keep seeing you switching positions in life and doing different businesses. You don't want to keep doing that, because I'm going to tell you that right now, that is the fastest way where you can get yourself disliked. So if you're going to tap your networking group, tap the networking group, the associates around you that have seen you complete something. One of the things, if you're going to start a business and you're not using no money to start it, you cannot communicate with individuals who know this is your 3rd or 4th or 5th venture that hasn't been completed. Now, you may say to yourself, well, I started a business and I sold a business. Well, you completed it. time to tap that networking group. But let's say you've never done that before and you started off and you may have different gifts and talents and you've done network marketing and then you've gotten to another business and then you started a third business. So you did network marketing as a 1099. You might have even been, let's say, for example, you might have started a networking business, then you started in the real estate, and now you came into something where you want to do computer repairs. Let me just explain to you, all within 5 years, don't keep tapping your personal network because they already know that you are not serious about staying in one industry. Only tap, and I tell people this, when you're going to start something from zero, tap into the group of people that you know that you stay in an area for a season. I mean, not for a season, for longer than a season. Don't follow that advice. Not for a season. They know you're going to be in there for a while because they know that you're dedicated to seeing it through to completion. Here's another one. Okay. There are several support groups or several local businesses. So one of the things I always told people is this: even if you're a sole proprietor and you don't plan on ever letting nobody else, you still need to build a volunteer board of directors or a volunteer group of consultants. Volunteer. Their goal is to say that they get to put on their resume, they help your business. Your goal is to put on their resume that they supported your business and advise your business. It's a two-way, it's not a one-way. It's almost like bartering. But you need to build that. If you don't, again, you sole proprietor, you need to build that group of professionals around you. And I'm not referring to what some people say, oh, I got a group of associates, I got some business partners. No, these individuals are looking to do what? Tell you the truth. And you're looking to do what? Tell them the truth. And collectively together, you guys will work through your differences as you communicate the truth to one another, and you'll become better at operating in the community and providing services. Here's another one. What if you say, well, okay, listen, I'm starting this business. I don't have any money at all. And I'm starting off with just focused on profit. Now, you may not know this, but a lot of companies in America started this way. A lot of companies that are now publicly traded started this way. They were in the beta stage. So this is a term that you need to be familiar with. The beta stage, when you will let someone know, regardless of service, products or service you're providing, that I'm in the beta stage. At this time, I am going through the process of testing to see if my services can be sustainable in the community, and the community at the same time can utilize my service frequently. That's your beta stage. It's the same thing for products. When they do in beta, they trying to figure out, should we bring this to the market or not? Well, you'll know if you put a beta stage in for 12 months and you say, well, I'm gonna do a beta stage for the first 90, I'm gonna put a beta stage in the first 6 months, I'm gonna do it for the next, then after the first 6 months, 180 days, and then actually I say 180, but the reality is 30, 60, 90, and then you got your whole 12 months. Okay. You could do, after you do the first 90 days and you do the next 90 days, then now you got a whole 6 months that you can actually say, okay, this business with me operating it, let's not drop my mic. This business with me operating is not going to be successful. So you may have to bring in another person on the volunteer to kind of give you that. But this is the key to it. One of the things is do not start a business alone in 2023. Again, do not start a business. Synergy is what you need. Synergy. You need to be in a group. You need to have somebody there. Being an entrepreneur, when you're doing it without your circle of competency, is a challenge, guys. Now, I know everybody has their own way of saying, I don't want no one to tell me what to do. Well, let me just explain to you. If you don't want nobody telling you what to do, don't start a business, because that's what your customers do. Your customers tell you, nope, we don't want it. Yes, we do. Nope, we don't like the way that you provide that service to us. So you're constantly getting this feedback all the time from customers. So the business that you need to start now, the next 5, jump into the body. It tells you right there. It has all 10 actually, and it kind of go into more detail. How come I did that? Because I do believe that sometimes on YouTube, everybody wants all the information, but they don't always use it. I decided that if I got 10 steps or 5 steps, I'm only going to give a couple of those steps and then allow you to take that next step. Now, some people may say, hey, listen, I didn't check out your video for me to have to do any work. But here's the thing. What good is interaction if I'm talking to you and you talking to me and you're not going to interact? I mean, I think it's important. Just like when we say like, subscribe, and follow. When I say like, subscribe, and follow, that means I'm asking you to participate in operating with me. Some of the videos I may put out may not be the best, but I can tell you this, every day and every way I'm getting a little better and better. I'm getting better at articulating the information that you need in real time in order for you to make a decision that allows you to make an informed decision. Because I said at the end of the day, our channel is all about education. Our channel is all about making sure that people, if you're watching it, there's something that you can implement. That's right. Even if you started a business and you use cash, you need to also understand that not everything has to be cash in your business. There are certain things that you can do that is not about cash, taking the dollars and cents, pounds and pence, and just paying it. Some of the things you need to do in your personal life, it has to be beta tested, which means it's going to be time, not dollars. Now, you can understand time is money. I totally agree that time is money. But what I'm saying is time, which means is that you're doing a beta test in order for you to find out is the customers or the business you're starting going to be viable to the community at large, at least the customers that you're trying to seek out. On the flip side of this thing is if you start a business and you always spending money, then that's the belief. You got to understand, we practice what we preach. So if you say to yourself, I'm gonna start a business right now and it's $0, check it out. It costs no money to start the business because you're going to allow the customers to pay the price for you to start it. That's right. There's an old saying in business, and this is this saying: what good is business if nobody want to pay for it? Now, you've heard that from most people being sarcastic, but that actually is the old saying. What good is it? If you're trying to start a company and you're not willing to beta test, you say, I'm going to pay my way, then that's not starting a company. That's actually doing what we like. Some people call it guerrilla marketing. But I'm just going to go out here and do guerrilla marketing. I'm going to knock down every door I can. But this is what my question is to you. If we're in a recession at this point and we're starting to see prices, and again, this is my opinion. This is not the view of the government. Let me just be very clear. I state ever since November, going into October and November of 2021, we're in a recession. So, everything is high. You go to the gas, people will tell you, oh, gas prices are coming down. Well, if you're not a Costco's member, a Sam's member, or one of those other clubs that give you a discount on gas, let me just explain to you. I've drive down past gas station all the time. And regular gas is not cheap, neither, and especially if you use a 93, it's not cheap. So this is the whole thing. The most money you can make is if you're practicing using beta testing where you can actually get paid and the customers are paying you to do the business. When you tell a customer, this is a service I can provide, and this is a service, they say, okay, this is a beta test. And doing a beta test, instead of you saying, well, this is what I normally get paid. I normally get paid $500 an hour. Let's say that was the example. You say, for this beta test, I'm willing to do it for, now, what is the cost of your local state to create an LLC? What is the cost to create your C Corp? We know that EIN, no matter what state you live in, or even if you live in one of the territories of the United States, that costs $0. So if you're paying for EIN, you're already being taken advantage of. Now, what you may be doing is you're paying for other services and the EIN is thrown into the service. But there's no cost. The IRS doesn't charge a fee to do an EIN, and it takes less than 15 minutes online to go to the IRS page and create an EIN after you filed it. So here's the thing. Before you go and you start your business and you start getting an office space, a cell phone, find out first, is it even sustainable? Do I have something that the community, not that I can sell once or twice, to me in a beta test, if you only do, let me give you an example. If your goal is to make, $100,000 and you're on a beta test and it costs only, let's say $400 to start your business because the EIN is free. So we're just talking about filing an LLC or C corporation, okay? Now, if it costs $400 and your first client or your first 3 clients, you let them know, I'm providing this service to you. And this service that I'm providing is I'm doing a beta test. So they now know it's a beta test. They understand that you're trying to find out, is this something that you want to bring to the market for the masses? So you're going to be doing a small research to see if this is something they can offer and would they want to participate. Here's your fee. They know this. At this particular time, you can either fill out a 1099 for them if you choose to or not, but as a being a self-employed person. But the key to it is you're trying to get the customer to pay you to get your business started, because it means that you're focused on profit versus focused on time. See, what I mean focused on time? Because if you start the business and you already got the money, you think time, you got more time. But if you start the business and they pay you, you don't have a lot of time because you can't start the business unless they pay you. If you already have money, you got the business up, you got to get the website up. See, this is the whole thing. Most people believe that a business has to have a website. But if you're in a beta testing, and you let them know this is before I'm in the beta testing. Now you may think to yourself, well, I agree with you. I think this is smart. I'm starting a business where it's high gross margin. How do we know it's high gross margin? Because you're starting off focused on profit. The whole goal of a business is profit. That is the goal, to generate excess revenue over the cost of operating that business. Some people would use the term excess revenue over profits. That's true. Well, your goal would be starting this business at a cost that doesn't cost you more. Now, Again, if people have experience, they're going to start the business because they want to get to the market faster. I'm not referring to them. I'm referring to in a down market for anyone who's a new entrepreneur and they don't have that money set aside. They don't have money on the sideline. They don't have enough money saved from their job, so they can't just quit their job and do this. They don't have access to this. We're talking about a person who's going to start a business in 2023, and this will be a part-time job for them, but they still need to do beta testing to know, do they have the gifts and the talents in order for them to generate profits? Because if you don't, you just saved yourself. Let's say, for example, you started this business and then when you could tell somebody this, well, I thought you was doing this business. Nope, I did a beta testing, and after only making $3,000 in a matter of 9 months, I realized that was one, I needed to go back and do some more research so I can sharpen my skills in order to rebring this back. But as of right now, it's not time for me to start this business. Now, $3,000 need to be claimed out of IRS. Please understand, I am not telling you to make this money and not claim it. I'm not doing that at all. I'm telling you, if you make anything according to the IRS rules, go to their page. That's what they're there for. And it is profit. And it's from 0 to 15,000. You need to understand that got to be reported. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. You can, seek your own accountant, get the advice from them. They'll tell you. Do not go out here and get yourself in a tax situation. I'm just telling you, do a beta test to make sure you have enough customers and your consistency is there. This is the reason that 9 out of 10 businesses fail, because you got these businesses that go out here and start and they're not consistent. Now, if you're going to be doing this in 2023 and you're going to be making some big gross margins so you can make that profit, here's the last thing I'm going to tell you before I end the show today, so you guys can go out there, look at the body. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share the content. But here's the thing. Here's the number one thing I want you to take away from today. You don't have to lose money because you don't have the skills. People are willing to pay you to work with them and do something they don't have. Now, I'm going to tell you again, you don't have to, right now, you don't just say you're starting a business using no money, period, $0. If you go out here and you start this business and you don't have a consistency, which means you have to fight through the internal, your own self. You got to fight your own self to do this. And you know that this is not your immediate background. Beta testing is how you want to start your business. That way people can pay you because you tell them, I'm doing a beta test. These are the services I provide. This is the cost that I'm charging at this particular point to do this beta test. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you can't do the beta test with somebody and it's $0. Now, if it is $0, then you have to make an agreement with that person. And that person will agree that if the test is good, then they will refer one person to you or at least 2 people to you that will be paying customers. Now, you can do that to a business, and that way you can get 2 clients. They give you the opportunity to actually test out to know what you're capable of. Most of us like to think more highly of ourselves, and we have a follow-through issue. We got to get past the follow-through and get to completion stage, because that's how you gain more customers. A person of completion will generate the revenue that you and I will always count on, because that's what the market is looking for. And a lot of times the market is saying, do something that I'm not willing to do. Well, pay me and I'll do it. That's really the reality of it. Everyone's looking for something right now that can shorten what they have to do. And if you can provide a service for that, in 2023, now I would tell you, in 2023, the best business to start is going to be a service business over an input business, because input business means that you need to have capital up front. Now, if you need to have capital up front, one of the things I put on is number 5, and this is number 5 on the list that I put in the body. Go check that out. It's going to tell you how, if you're going to start a business of input, which means unfinished goods, which is the most expensive business to start, period. Just understand, anytime you have an input, which means it's a product or service you have to create, but it's not a finished product, it means that you may have raw materials, is the most expensive business, and it is catastrophic. It's catastrophic when you fail in that business, because it took so much money for the raw materials to turn to finished good. You end up having a bunch of raw materials that you can't convert fast enough into finished goods. But for us today, check out the body. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and send. I gave 5 points. There's actually 10. Check out the body of it. And if you can't see it, it'll definitely be replay and you'll see the whole body. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Share with your friends. My whole goal is to do videos that not exceed 20 minutes. So I'm going to end it now. That's why I gave you the tips. And you have a good day, and I look for you next time. See you on Wednesday when I go over my personal stock watch list. Mondays is business. Wednesday, personal stock list. Friday is the slate. That's our film division. See you next time.